part of it was rebelling against conformity, but also the other part was being appreciative of diversity, right? So not just necessarily that I'm built different, I'm built different. It was also just the idea that we don't have to all be the same. We can all be on a mission. And we can celebrate the fact that we're different, as long as it's rooted in something compelling. And for me, that was growth. My name is Kudakwashe Jr. I'm just a 37-year-old guy who is trying to pursue his purpose and do something meaningful with his life. It's definitely, I can see the path that I originally had charted for it, but then experiences, people, personalities, different perspectives, they also filter into that, and they've fit into it, which internally can cause a bit of friction for me because I'm very protective of this vision that I have for it. But at the same time, it's been kind of nice. So the first event was very much, I don't want to say picking back off of, more so it was driven by men's mental health. And so it was exclusively a men's event. But the funny thing about that was that it became, in this short period of time, it became recognized as almost like for men exclusively. And so I also wrestle with that because I also don't want that to be what it stands for. So it's, in some ways, it's grown in different ways and transformed, because I still, through that one experience of the first meet, I kind of do like the idea of the core guys who came, because each of them brought values, character, and a sense of identity that, for me, I feel lifts Built Different. So I still want to maintain a lot of that. So I would say, yeah, it's been a learning experience. It's in some ways it's definitely aligned with my original vision, but in other ways I think it's broadened and has a little bit more depth to it because of the first meet. Look, a lot of Built Different, and even just for myself, is I really want to, with this, my first time doing something with this, my first event, first anything, I want to carry the same, this is my only chance to do this right sort of energy. So I was nervous. I was nervous about being central to this thing. I didn't know how many people would come. I didn't know if people would come. I didn't know if they would enjoy it. I didn't know if the experience was going to play out the way I wanted it to. So there was a lot of anxiety, but also anxiety can sometimes also just be excitement. So there was also an excitement because there was also like just uncertainty, and I love uncertainty because uncertainty, yes, can be scary, but also you have this thing where it's like, it also means that anything is possible, anything good can happen. So that feeling was definitely present during the week, but I think from when I went with my brother, you, to just scope out the place, and then again went back with Godfrey to just run the course, it then became something familiar to me. And I also believe in practice. Practice makes you confident because it's nothing new to you. So even on the morning, I was still nervous, but it just grew, and I grew in confidence because of how everyone was allowing themselves to just be themselves and really give themselves to the experience. So yeah, nervousness, excitement, and then also relief, just that things went well. I think the standout for me would actually be when we'd already had the morning, and I didn't want to make people staying and hanging out compulsory. I wanted to present the opportunity and to have people decide for themselves if they wanted to stay, but also people have stuff to do. The group that came that morning, all roughly around my age, so 30s and up. So people have families, they got wives, they got things that they need to do, business, work, maybe even just recovery from work. So I wasn't expecting everyone to be like, yeah, I'm down to hang out. And just the way everyone sort of came together to hang out and talk. It was like we had known each other collectively and individually for a long time. And that for me was the highlight. Yeah, the preparation's a bit shaky. It's a bit shaky. Yeah, I purposely didn't want to do too many too often because I want the experience rather to be more frequent. I want it to be more engaging and more valuable, and to just hit people harder, more impactful. That's the word I'm looking for. So I thought I would space them out initially. This has been spaced out, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, because I've spaced it out, I don't have an excuse to not do really well. So I love the venue, Sindima Cafe. I've sort of prepared the workout because now the dynamic is going to change because women are coming too. And it's kind of important for me because I want, and I'm kind of leaning on the core guys, unfairly so, but I trust them. I kind of want the women to feel welcome, right? And I want them to walk away with a similar feeling that the guys did. But I know by our very nature, men and women are different, so I'm nervous about that. I'm nervous about the interactions between men and women. But again, I'm also excited. I think it's going to be a beautiful morning. I basically live at Ndima Cafe. Nervous but excited, but I think as unprepared as I feel on the day, it's going to come together perfectly. And of course, I've got Gabby and Boost Active coming through. And again, as uncertain as that is, the core guys are going to be there. Gabby's going to be there. Boost Active is going to be there. It's going to be an Ndima, so there's familiarity that makes me feel like it feels like home too. So yeah, I have thought about it in depth, which is also why I'm so protective about the vision I have, because I'm wary of being dismissive to people who come with their ideas, because I don't want it to be received that way. It's more so that I just have such a clear vision of what I want for it that I don't want to lose sight of that vision. I don't know if I really want to tell you, if I'm honest, but for me, what is, was, and I hope will remain the core is the community. I think you can achieve incredible things when you start with the community or a community. So I really want to solidify that, and then the extension is, I don't know, we might have mentorship for young men, young boys, young adults. I think there's a need for that. Globally, yes, but I think in Zim, one of our strengths has always been community, and I think maybe we've lost a sense of that through hardship and challenges. But you know, mentorship is one thing. Perhaps an app, workouts, so that I want people to be able to get access to a healthier lifestyle without feeling the friction of trying something new, or being intimidated by a new experience, or by people who are more experienced than them. And also just the mindset as well. And then beyond that, step further, who knows, maybe one day there'll be a Built Different gym. Programs, I have a few things. I'm scratching the surface on all of them just to give you a rough idea, but those are the things that I'm thinking about. For me, Built Different will be successful if the people who join the community or the movement, one, commit to growth in their own lives, independent of me and Built Different, but also carry that message and become ambassadors of that message of growth within their own circles. So that extends beyond me, beyond Built Different, and beyond my lifetime, hopefully.